Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Today we have a follow-up to a sovereign citizen out of Indiana that I've recently covered who goes by the name of Prince Pew, which when you translate that directly from to English, it means minor royalty of the family bad breath. So, let's begin.
Prince Pew, state would you please start a record?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. This is State of Indiana versus Prince Pew, cause number 64D01-2305F64448. Defendant appears in court in person by video conferencing with counsel, Mr. Steve Pribble. State of Indiana by Gary Gurman.
Morning, Mr. Pew. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Pribble?
Your Honor, did the court get the filing just done this morning? If not, I do have a copy for the court's consideration.
You filed something?
I did, Your Honor.
I did not see anything come through my queue. Last thing I have is my order striking documents from June 9th.
May I approach?
You may. Okay. Yeah, Mr. Pew, it looks like your attorney has requested permission to withdraw from the case.
Upon Mr. Pew's request, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. What I'll do is take that under advisement and my assumption is you intend to try to proceed on your own and without counsel. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you're asking to be able to proceed on your own and without counsel. I'm going to set this for a Feretta hearing. I will take the withdrawal of Mr. Pribble under advisement pending that hearing. We will send you some documents out, or at least one document out to the jail that you can review prior to the Feretta hearing related to pro se representation. Yeah, I'm going to do that at 10:30 today. Mr. Pribble, you don't need to be present for it. Mr. Pugh, I'm going to have my staff fax something out to the jail right now. They'll present that to you, give you time to review it and prepare for a hearing that'll be held here in about an hour and 20 minutes where we'll go through your Feretta rights and make sure that you understand what would be required of you for you to be able to represent yourself before the court pro se. Okay?
Yes. For the record, Your Honor, did you review my documents?
Sir, you filed a bunch of stuff. The other day, I struck all that from the record because you're represented by counsel. As I've advised you before, we don't allow for hybrid representation. I would caution you, all the things that you filed that you asked me to consider, none of those, even if you were representing yourself, would be items that are pertinent to this matter, okay? So that'll be something we delve into quite deeply here in about an hour and 20 minutes, all right? Because you're going to be expected to follow all the rules of this court that are promulgated by the Indiana Supreme Court. And if you're incapable of doing that, you will not be able to represent yourself in front of this court. So that's just a prelude, I suppose, to the hearing we'll have here in an hour and 20 minutes. You understand?
Indeed.
Indeed. We'll see you back at 10:30.
All right, so that's the end of the first clip. They come back in a little over an hour for his Feretta hearing, and that's when he railroads his own chances of representing himself.
Let's go back on the record for Prince Pew.
Yes, Judge, this is a resumption of our hearing earlier. It's State of Indiana versus Prince Pew, 64D01-2305F64448. Defendant appears in court in person by video conferencing without counsel. State of Indiana by Gary Gurman.
Mr. Pew, did you have a chance to review the advice for self-represented defendants that we sent out to the jail a few minutes ago?
No, it was not.
You didn't get a chance to review it, or you didn't receive it?
I didn't get a chance to review it because I'm not here to speak on. Yes, it was presented. Yes. Yeah, I'm not here to speak on the Feretta rights.
It was presented to you, but you did not review it, correct?
Yes.
Okay, please raise your hand to be sworn.
I take no other oaths beyond allegiance to the United States of America Republic.
All right, sir. Well, you have to swear in to participate in a Feretta hearing. Please raise your right hand to be sworn.
Yes, I take no other oaths beyond the United States of America Republic. I'm not a
Mr. Pugh?
resident or I'm not a U.S. citizen, respectfully.
Right. Mr. Pugh, if you don't swear in, I can't even conduct a Feretta hearing. And if you refuse to swear in and you won't go through the Feretta hearing, then there's no way you could represent yourself. So, I mean, if you can't even acknowledge that you're under oath and that you're telling the truth, then there's no purpose for us to even proceed further. I can just deny your request to proceed pro se, deny Mr.
Yes.
Pribble's
Well, I
motion to
object, Your Honor.
withdraw
I object, Your Honor,
and go from
respectfully.
there.
I only take an oath to the United States of America Republic.
Well, sir, let me go through the oath with you and see if it's one that you're willing to take. But what I would need you to do is raise your right hand to be sworn. And then
Okay?
what I would say to you is, do you swear or affirm to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So for the record, what is your true legal name?
Prince Pugh Bay.
Okay. Is there an initial or a middle name?
Now comes the respondent, Prince Pugh Bay, a national citizen through the United States of America Republic, a sovereign government that has its own jurisdiction.
Okay. I will note your refusal to give me your true legal name for the record. It appears that you are either unwilling or incapable of acknowledging your legal identity. Are you currently
I
under the
object.
influence of any alcohol or drugs?
I object. The full legal name was just given, Prince Pugh Bay, on the record for the record.
Yeah. I think he spells Bay, B-E-Y.
Yes, correct.
I believe that you have a middle name, sir.
Yes, D.
Okay. Well, why didn't you say that before?
Prince D. Pugh Bay.
I believe it's actually pronounced pubic, Your Honor.
Is Bay a name given to you by on your birth certificate or by
Yes.
birth, or was it something that was a legal name change, something of that nature?
No. It's my full name that's on my certificate of live birth.
Okay. And tell me more about your certificate of live birth.
My certificate of live birth is a birth right and customs of the United States of America Republic by me being a full-blooded Cherokee Indian.
Okay. So the moniker or suffix Bay, B-E-Y, is not part of your legal name, correct?
No, that is incorrect. That is my full-blown name and appellation.
Okay. So once again, the court will note for the record that the defendant refuses to acknowledge their legal identity. All right, sir. Are you currently under the influence of any alcohol or drugs?
Once again, I object. Full name was given that's on the certificate of live birth, which is in the filing. And no, I am not
on to
under
the next question.
any intoxicants whatsoever.
Sir, are you under the influence of any alcohol or drugs? That's a yes or no question.
No.
You understand you have a constitutional right to a lawyer?
I object. I understand that my constitutional rights are being violated at this particular point.
Sir, it's also a very simple question. You understand you have a constitutional right to a lawyer?
I understand that my constitutional rights are being violated at this particular point, and I am not a resident of Porter County, nor a resident of the state of Indiana, nor a U.S. citizen. I'm a Moorish American national of the United States of America Republic.
Does the country of Morocco know that you're a Moorish American? Or is this some you just made up while eating your crayon tacos?
Okay, sir. You understand that you have a right to an attorney. If you can't afford one, the court would appoint one for you. Do you understand that?
No.
Okay. Mr. Pugh, do you recognize that this court operates under the Constitution and laws of the state of Indiana?
No, I understand that the state of Indiana Constitution, as well as the U.S. Constitution, as well as my ordained Constitution of the United States of American Republic, is in violation at this particular point, and that you need to contact the federal government, the governor, and the attorney general at this particular point.
Mr. Pugh, do you understand that and recognize the legal authority of this court to hear this case?
No, I do not. I only take oath of allegiance to the United States of American Republic. And I understand that the state cannot enforce its laws upon me and denationalize me or strip me of my citizenship or nationality. I also understand that the judge cannot sit in authority over citizens of another or a foreign state, nor can the state impair obligations of contract without being in direct, severe, gross due process violations at this particular point.
Mr. Pugh, what does the prosecutor do in this court?
The prosecutor answers motions that were said that were struck down, yet I haven't had a response from the prosecutor in response to any of my motions.
Mr. Pugh, what does the judge do in this court?
The judge is supposed to be a neutral party, yet is, very biased in this particular setting. And once again, the judge needs to uphold the state of Indiana, the U.S., as well as my ordained Constitution. He takes an oath of office to uphold these constitutions, and once again, cannot sit in judgment over a foreign state citizen.
Mr. Pugh, tell me about the separation of powers in Indiana.
The separation of power is supposed to be, once again, within the peace treaty. The state of Indiana, as well as the U.S. Constitution, is supposed to work in a bilateral treaty with the United States of American Republic. I'm not sure if any party of interest is aware of the bilateral treaties that we have.
Mr. Pugh, you understand that if you represent yourself in this court, you'll be held to the exact same standard as a licensed attorney?
No, I understand that I reserve all of my constitutional rights of the United States of American Republic. Once again, for the record, I am not a resident of Porter County, nor a resident of the state of Indiana. I'm a Moorish American national of the United States of American Republic.
Mr. Pugh, you understand that in the course of you representing yourself, the court cannot and would not give you legal advice to help you try your case?
Yes, I understand that I would not be in need of any counsel coming from this appellate court in this particular case, or no case at all. I'm a Moorish American foreign national of the United States of the American Republic, and I have the constitutional right to represent myself pro se with any of my filings and any of my motions, and they must be heard.
Mr. Pugh, you understand that criminal trials in this state are governed strictly by the Indiana Constitution, by statutes that are passed by our legislature, by the Indiana criminal rules, by the Indiana rules of trial procedure, by the Indiana rules of evidence, and other Indiana rules that are promulgated by our Supreme Court?
No, I am not a resident of the state of Indiana, nor a resident of Porter County. I understand that the statutes, the codes, the ordinances of the state of Indiana do not apply to me. Neither can the court have original jurisdiction. Only federal courts in cases where foreign state citizens and American Indians can obtain original jurisdiction.
Well, you might want to let the courts across America know that since they prosecute foreign nationals and Native Americans all the time for any crimes they may have committed while in America.
Saying that if you intend to introduce documents or witness testimony, that you must do so by following the Indiana rules of evidence?
No, once again, I am not a resident of the state of Indiana, nor a resident of Porter County. I understand that the statutes, the codes, the ordinances of the state of Indiana do not apply to me. Neither can the court obtain original jurisdiction. Only federal courts in cases with foreign state citizens and American Indians.
You understand that if you don't know how to lay foundation, that your evidence would likely be excluded?
No.
You understand that if the state introduces evidence you believe to be improper, that you would have to object using a specific legal basis found in the rules of evidence?
No. Once again, I am not a resident of the state of Indiana. Statutes, codes, rules, and regulations do not apply to me. I'm a foreign state national of the United States of America Republic. I only take oath of allegiance to the United States of America Republic Constitution.
Mr. Pugh, do you agree to be bound by and conduct your defense strictly according to the Indiana Constitution, the statutes of Indiana, the Indiana criminal rules, Indiana rules of criminal procedure, Indiana rules of evidence, and other applicable rules for criminal matters?
No. Once again, I am not a resident of the state of Indiana. The code, statutes, rules, and regulations do not apply to me. To enforce me to obligate would be a breach of trust and a breach of fiduciary duties of obligations and duties, as well as a breach of contract, according to Article 1, Section 10 of the Constitution. And I reserve all of my constitutional rights of the United States of America Republic.
Mr. Pugh, you understand that if there was a trial held in this matter, that I might make rules on objections and rulings on motions. Do you agree to respect and abide by the rulings, even if you disagree with the court's rulings?
No. Once again, the code, statutes, rules, and regulations do not apply to me. What the court needs to do is contact the federal government, the governor or the attorney general of the state of Illinois. Because right now, the state of Illinois, the state of Indiana Constitution, as well as the U.S. Constitution, is in violation at this particular point.
Sir, will you refrain from raising legal arguments, filing motions, or making statements to the jury that rely on jurisdictional theories, commercial law, or alternative legal codes not recognized by the state of Indiana?
No, I will, because I cannot be denationalized and I cannot be denied citizenship. The only thing that I'm here to discuss is the treaty and the treaty that we have. So no, that would not be something that I will do. All of my motions are to be heard within the court and to be responded to by the plaintiff.
All right, Mr. Pugh, I must advise you that in my professional opinion, it's almost always unwise to represent yourself in a criminal matter. In this case, you're facing a level 6 felony, which carries a possible sentence of 6 months to 2.5 years in prison, and then an additional charge for resisting law enforcement, a Class A misdemeanor, which carries an additional sentence of up to a year in jail. You understand the potential penalties you're facing here?
Respectfully, my honor, the counselor manual, page 61, is in violation because no one has contacted my counselor. And, you know, with that, it's a supreme violation of my political and constitutional rights. Once again, resulting in a breach of trust, a breach of fiduciary duties and obligations, according to Article 1, Section 10 of the Constitution. Which once again, I reserve all of my constitutional rights in the United States of America Republic. So I demand at this particular time, my honor, respectfully, for a constitutional review to avoid due process and constitutional civil rights violations, as well as my civil liberties, respectfully.
Mr. Pugh, you realize that a trained lawyer could identify your defenses, constitutional violations that you might miss, and that not having a lawyer could result in a severe disadvantage to you under these circumstances?
No, this is where the judge, being a neutral party, is to uphold and make sure that my constitutional rights are not being in violation. I also demand that without proof of jurisdiction, the court cannot proceed, and I demand for dismissal of this case for lack of jurisdiction for the record.
Okay, we'll deny your motion to dismiss, sir. Firstly, it's not done in writing. Secondly, you are represented by counsel still. in this matter because I haven't made a determination about your counsel, and we don't allow hybrid representation. And thirdly, there's no basis in law for your motion to dismiss.
Well, I object to any counsel entry on behalf of any merits on the record for the record.
Mr. Pugh, you understand that you're under severe disadvantage if you choose to represent yourself and you don't follow the strict rules that this court would require you to follow. Knowing that, is it your clear and voluntary desire to represent yourself?
Yes, it is my clear right to represent myself. And no, once again, the code, statutes, rules, and regulations do not apply to me, so I do not acknowledge any rules of the court that would mandate me not to be able to represent myself as I see fit.
Okay. Tell me more about your wish to represent yourself pro se.
Well, it's nothing more to discuss beyond me reserving all of my constitutional rights as a foreign state citizen and a full-blooded Cherokee Indian of the United States of America Republic.
Well, this is going to be awkward since he wants to represent himself, but he's done everything he can to keep the judge from allowing him to represent himself. But now it's time for the judge to wipe that stupid smile off his dumbass face.
Okay, well, sir, I will deny your request to proceed pro se. I will deny Mr. Pribble's motion to withdraw as your counsel. I will make the following findings. I'll find that you have failed to make a clear and unequivocal request to proceed pro se.
Yes, I object.
Responses to the court's inquiries were evasive, conditional, or reliant on legal theories not recognized by this jurisdiction. And
yes, I
the
object.
court cannot find a definitive waiver of the right to counsel.
Yes, I object.
The court finds that the right to self-representation is not a license to disregard the procedural and substantive laws of Indiana. During the colloquy, the defendant expressly refused and demonstrated an inability to agree to be bound by the Indiana rules of trial procedure, the Indiana criminal rules,
I object.
Indiana statutes, the Indiana Constitution, and Indiana rules of evidence. And
I
that
object.
the defendant will not agree to follow the established rules of this courtroom, cannot effectively waive the right to counsel and conduct a defense.
Yes, I object, Your Honor.
That to validly waive counsel, the defendant must possess a rational understanding of the proceedings. Based on defendant's answers regarding the constitutional authority of this court, the branches of government, and the respective roles of the judge and prosecutor, the court finds the defendant fundamentally misunderstands or refuses to acknowledge the nature of these proceedings. Consequently, any waiver of counsel is not knowing or intelligent.
I object,
I also
Mom.
find that the defendant, allowing the defendant to proceed pro se would fundamentally disrupt the administration of justice. The defendant's conduct and statements during this hearing indicate a persistent intent to challenge the foundational jurisdiction of the court rather than present a defense to the charges. As established in the Hotel Ep v. State case, the right to self-representation does not protect obstructionist behavior that presents the orderly progression of a trial. I will also find that the defendant's persistent refusal to directly answer the court's basic questions, including questions regarding their identity, their understanding of the charges, their understanding of the appropriate laws and rules that apply in the court, frustrated the court's ability to conduct a meaningful phoretic colloquy, and because of the defendant's responsiveness, prevented the court from establishing that a waiver of counsel was knowing, voluntary, and intelligent. Sir, as I mentioned before, we're denying your motion to proceed pro se. I'm denying your defense counsel.
I object, Your Honor. Is that an order that you can have in writing? Because you cannot just say, I'm striking down the motion.
Yeah, it ends just like that. And yeah, the judge can deny your right to self-representation in this situation for two different relevant reasons. First, you don't have the capacity to represent yourself based on the answers you gave during your FETA hearing. And due to that, the judge must protect your Sixth Amendment right to counsel. And second, He can deny your rights to self-representation if he feels as if your request to represent yourself is an attempt at derailing the normal cost of business in the courts. So yeah, you just lost your right to self-representation and it was your own damn fault. Alright, guys. That's the end of the video, but I don't think that's going to be the last time we see Prince Dumpuck in court. So if you like the video, hit the like button. If you disliked it, hit the dislike. But don't forget to leave a comment below and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss any of my content. I'm Team Skeptic and I'm out. Here we